Hello everybody, this is Starshot Ryan, here to bring you my Let's Play of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky once again, and where we'll be tackling the side quest of finding a firefly fungus on the Malgal Trail to just double check to see what our kind of quest list is for now. All you have to do is just press the Y button, or depending on what your control scheme is, either using the keyboard or gamepad. You know, you can make use of all the different button inputs. I tend to prefer using a gamepad most of the time for games like this. And as you can see here on our screen, we have our mushroom hunt, where we have to find a firefly fungus that can be found in grassy patches along the Malgal Trail. So let's go ahead and get our way over there. As you can see, the Malgal Trail is right over here. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, if you've noticed something different about the game, like the characters moving a bit more quickly or so, that's likely because recently our friends over at Xseed, the ones who brought this great game I'm playing for you now, gave it a turbo mode, which speed things up, so that hopefully alleviates some of the issues that can come from grinding. And I think, you know, it is nice that they kind of add that to it, addressing any issues that they feel might have a problem for some players, if they feel the game is a bit too slow sometimes. For most players who probably don't know this, while I have the time to talk to you without having to explain some of the characters and their dialogue, this game actually came out first in Japan back in 2004 for the PC. So this game never really came over to us in the States until at least 2011. It's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? Having to wait 11 years, or not 11 years. 7 years for a great RPG like this to finally come over. But then again, as I will state in my next point, the issue stemmed from originally that this game itself is probably one of the biggest text-heavy games you'll find out there.
We're good to go.
The game itself has over 1.5 million Japanese characters. Now, I'm no linguistics expert. I don't stand to be one, so I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong about this assumption, but supposedly, if at least one Japanese character could substantially be at least one word, at least some of the times it is, then it's likely that, that's at least over 1.5 million words in a game. And just think about that for a minute here. And just for a sec here while I go open this treasure chest for us. Find a revolving bomb, always helpful. And not a thing remains of this chest except a lonely dead spider. Now, wouldn't that be nice to know sometimes when you check a treasure chest again just to see if there's something in it. Well, yeah, back to my original point. Having 1.5 million words in a game. Just think about that. How many other games have some of you people probably played out there that had no words at all? No text, no dialogue, nothing. It tried to tell everything through its story and world just from the visuals and actions in the game alone. And then trying to translate a game with that many words in it, it just speaks to how much dedication you would have to be able to bring this game over in the first place. So you can understand why it was probably difficult for some developers or publishers out there to make a game like this and then decide to try and bring it over to the States. Yeah, Actually, let's just go ahead and make use of our attack while he has that buff right now. So it's definitely, I definitely commend Xseed for taking on such a monumental project such as this. You know, when it comes to games like this, it definitely helps to have a good story. And you know, what does a good story have but good characters? But to ever try and flesh out those characters, they need to be able to say something. So, you know, I guess the question now is like, do they need to have 1.5 million words to try and explain this story to it? Well, it wouldn't really be much of a Tales of game if it didn't have enough dialogue to tell that story. Still not finding any mushrooms. Let's see here. Yeah, well, for the most part, we can take this as a good time to try and tackle all the grinding that's probably involved. And thankfully, with the patch that they just given to us, that should hopefully go much faster than normal. So if you just noticed, the felines have been focusing their power. So whenever you have the chance, you definitely want to make sure you take care of that before they unleash their ability. She's not close enough, and I can make use of arts to take care of it right away. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I guess I should continue saying something as I'm taking care of these battles here, since there's really not much more to talk about other than just making sure to do what you can to stay alive, and conserve what EP you have when you can. But I'll just go ahead and do a stone here, and I'll go ahead and just use it on this guy here. So, I guess continuing with what I was talking about before, I actually got a quote from an interview I found taken by RPGgamer.com. The interview was pretty much just about talking about the game itself and kind of what they did. The quote I found, which I think pretty much goes well with what I was talking about earlier with the game and the Japanese characters, was that quoted from Tom, one of the people on the translation team for Trails in the Sky. It looks like I'll just have to go ahead and conserve what I have for now. So what I was saying was the Legend of Heroes series in general contains the most difficult Japanese he's ever encountered in my relatively long history of playing import RPGs. Playing these games without a kanji dictionary on hand generally means your fluency is as good or better than that of most native Japanese college students, and understanding every line of text typically means that you're intimately familiar with Japanese slang and colloquialisms, as well as accents and speech patterns from virtually every corner of the country and from almost any time in history. So, definitely means a lot of work was put into trying to translate this game. And I'm sure there are some people out there who would probably play this throughout this entire game not understanding what was going on. But I'm fairly certain most people would prefer to enjoy the story moreover than the gameplay. Because as you can see here, the gameplay, while it's solid and provides plenty of things to do and think about, after a while, you know, you kind of just go through the motions through some battles.
That's that then. Let's move out.
And that this game is really more famous for having a great story and characters than having engaging and great combat to play in. So let's go ahead and make use of our CP here so we don't die here. Because these enemies can be fairly tenacious and annoying to deal with. Hopefully that should be enough, but I'll go ahead and use a craft. And that should hopefully take care of this bug guy here. Yep, down he goes.
That's that then. Let's move out.
So yeah, definitely a much harder enemy. And I may need to try and turn back a bit before, if I'm gonna survive any further. I'll go ahead and make use of some items. Make use of our drill meatballs here. And we can, you know, definitely food, definitely have some on hand, and it definitely helps. Nothing over here. But yeah, this turbo mode is definitely surprising and a bit frustrating to deal with right now as well. Let's see, take care of this guy here, who's next.
Let's do this!
So, always important, remember the order of enemies, and always take care of the one who is about to attack next. That way you reduce the damage you take, and you have one less thing to worry about. Let's see here. Since they're weak to just about any elemental, we should probably make use of some arts here to take care of them, and hopefully kill them much sooner. But yeah, for the most part, if it wasn't apparent, the translation for this game has definitely gone through a lot, and it's very helpful that they put all the time and effort into making this possible, and that they were able to bring the rest of the games here as well. Since when I first played Trails of Heroes,
We're good to go.
I actually played this back when it came out for the PSP in 2011. But sadly the second game never showed up until much later, and only now on the PC. I think it came out last year or so. Oh, here we go. So we've just finally found our fly-by fungus. Aha! What's with the sudden outburst? I've found it! Now to claim our prize. And there's our fungus. Isn't that? You think so too? This place is growing, seems about right, and it's got that soft green glow. This has got to be the firefly fungus that what's-his-face was talking about. You mean Orvid, right? Yeah, that's who I meant. It doesn't look like all that tasty, but it sure is pretty for a mushroom. Almost like the glow of Septum, if you ask me. Septum. What's up, Joshua? I may be worrying too much, but I think you better put that mushroom in your bag quickly, Estelle. What the? Yep, sadly, in finding that mushroom, we encounter monsters. Just like I figured. This mushroom attracts... Estelle, look out! Thankfully, they're only flying felines, so hopefully this should be an easy enough battle, but... As you can see, our friend here, Joshua, is low. So let's go ahead and heal him before we die. And as you can hear, the music intensifies and is more dramatic. usually get this during important missions and such, not during regular battles, if you've noticed or not. Let's go ahead and build up some CP to hopefully help. But yeah, thankfully, since these are just flying felines, we should have an easier time dealing with them. But always be careful. With any quest, you'll run into situations like this where you'll be conscripted into a battle. And to always make use of any buffs you can find or get. Thanks to watching out the battle order. So, but as you can see here, the battle pretty much isn't too hard to do, so doing this quest shouldn't be too bad as long as you have some decent equipment and have done a little bit of grinding.
That's
Getting
that.
at least level 5
Let's
helps.
move out.
Now that was a surprise, I tell ya. Did you put that thing away? Yep, it's all taken care of. The light emitted by Ross Septum has the power to attract monsters. This mushroom also seems to have the same effect. That sneaky merchant. He never mentioned a single thing about this. Anyway, let's hurry back to town. Right. Just wait till I get my hands on you, you conniving merchant. And of course, while we're here, we'll check out this treasure chest. Hopefully it doesn't contain any monsters. And I found a white bracelet. And let's go ahead and see what it says. This chest is now full of disappointment. Yeah, so pretty much always check the treasure chests in case they all contain something they'll say. And let's go ahead and check out our newly acquired bracelet here. We can find a bangle that emits pure white light to prevent blindness. We shouldn't have too many enemies to deal with for that, but since we don't have anything else to equip for now, I'll go ahead and have it on. And I'll go ahead and avoid any more battles until we hopefully get back to town, since I'm a bit low on EP. But of course, we'll always encounter some of these bug enemies here who want to ruin our day. And as you can also see, they like to gang up on players. Some AI is a bit better than others, so it's best to take care of them as soon as you possibly can. It's actually kind of funny listening to this music again. I'm reminded of, I think, Neo Genesis Evangelion a bit, with some of the melodies here and there. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the artists for it might have been inspired by the intro or not. But then overall, the music I find for this game, it takes a lot of different inspirations here and there.
We're good to go.
But they mostly focus on kind of just, awesome, level 6. Another helpful thing to know, whenever you do level, you pretty much fully recover both your HP and your EP. So, always keep an eye out, and so whenever you have the chance, make use of that little level up there. And then another good thing to remember is if you do enough grinding and collect enough septum, you'll be able to use it to open up the slots in your quartz, or in the orbital arts band we all make use of. But yeah, pretty much gonna just head back home, take care of at least get this quest turned in. Let me just double check here, see if there's anything else we can do. Yeah, so nothing right here we find right now. Of course, since some of the stuff we're doing might help, but it looks like we need to go to Mistwald for this. And then more stuff we would need to talk about some of the other stuff. And this one is on a different road. So for now, I'll go ahead and take care of this quest by talking to a guy for his firefly fungus. But yeah, thanks to the turbo mode here, things can go a lot quicker for some people if they prefer it. Meh, tongue-tied today. What's that you say? You found the mushroom? Yep, we found it all right. Oh, wonderful. But it might be different than the one we heard about from you. You see, this mushroom attracts monsters. Oh, well, it's like this. So even though you knew the risk, you hired us for the job, Orvid. But what? How was I supposed to know something like that? And besides, a bracer's job is to deal with danger, right? Well, a little heads up would have been nice, so we could have at least been prepared. Never mind, Dus. The big question here is your motive. What do you tend to use this mushroom for? Yeah, this thing could be a weapon. Fess up, you had some big nefarious plans in mind, right? A nefarious mushroom plan? What? Isn't it obvious what I'm gonna use it for? For cooking, of course. What? Cooking? Are you trying to tell me that people actually eat this thing? This is why it's such a pain to deal with country bumpkins. In the hands of a skilled chef, the more distinct the ingredient, the more profound the taste. And from that perspective, the firefly fungus is the king of them all. This is no doubt the ultimate ingredient. So pretty much what you're saying is that it's for people with bizarre eating habits. That's the talk of one unacquainted with a true delicacy. But then again, commoners such as yourself could never have an opportunity to try such dishes. And praise be to heaven for that. I'd never want to gnaw on a ratty green mushroom like that. Agreed. It looks pretty nasty. Anyway, I have other business preparations to make. Now if you don't mind, I'll ask that you hand over the mushroom and leave. Yeah, please take it. On behalf of this mushroom, I shall turn a blind eye to your ignorance. And as promised, I will pay you, so be grateful to your client. Nobody's going to buy that mushroom, I hope you know. Come on, Joshua, let's go. Please excuse us. We will be going now. Yes, please do. And with that, our mushroom quest hunt is finished for now. I'll go ahead and turn in some of the quests we've done for now, so that we can hopefully make some money and buy some new equipment. Good morning. How did the job at the farm go? We hit a few bumps in the road, but let me give you a brief report of the details. And thankfully they summarized all for us in this nice little sentence here. And we received payment and gotten some more BP. As you can see, this mirror will be put into great use for our equipment. I see, so you ended up setting the monsters free because the Purzel family requested you to do so. I think it was premature on their part, but I won't pursue the matter any further. Is it okay to leave things at that? The mission of a bracer is to protect civilians and uphold justice. However, there are many ways we can protect those around us, and there are as many forms of justice as there are stars in the heavens. As a bracer, it is your job to be able to discern these things. Indeed, our work has been profound implications if you think about it in that way. That's because we aren't an organization that deals strictly with monster problems. We also intervene when disputes arise between nations. To become a high-ranking bracer, one must have more than combat strength. A well-honed mind and flexible problem-solving skills are also required. A sharp mind and problem-solving ability, huh? Serious. The road to the big lead sounds a lot steeper than I originally thought. Well, then your only choice is to devote yourself to working hard every day. And since you're both here, why don't I give you the details for your next job? Those are the words I've been waiting to hear. I'm ready for anything, so what you've got lined up for us for this time, another monster that needs a good whipping. Not this time. This next job will entail the transportation of goods. And get this, your client is none other than Mayor Klaus himself. Klaus? I think I'm saying that right. Really? A request from the mayor? Do you think you'll be alright leaving such an important task up to us? From what I've heard, it's a pretty simple job. In any case, I'd like you to speak with the mayor directly about the job details. So yeah, we've got another quest we can take care of. This is the main quest we can continue on, but I plan to try and take care of some of the smaller side quests and finish those up before we continue with the mayor quest. Because as time progresses, time will only progress as you continue completing main quests. So as long as you complete the side quests before completing any main quests, you can pretty much take as much time as you need to finish those things up. But for now, I feel like this is a good time as I need to stop the video. Join us next time when I'll continue completing more side quests and hopefully getting those things done completely. I'll of course let you guys know if I decide to fast forward through some of the quests since a lot of some of them will encounter battles as you just witnessed with our Firefly Fungus quest. This is Starshot Ryan signing out, and see you next time.